name's TJ Rogers. I'm originally from Athens, Tennessee. I'm a microbiologist. I study geomicrobiology. So I'm in the the Department of Microbiology. I'm a grad student. So what I do, we go out to subduction zones, so like out in Costa Rica, Argentina, and Chile, and we collect fluid and sediment samples from hydrothermal systems, and we are trying to get an idea of how the microbes are interacting with the geochemistry that's being released off tectonic processes. You think of the Amazon rainforest as like the lungs of Earth. Mm-hmm. Well, technically Amazon rainforest is like the left lung, and what I study is like the right lung. So the carbon that's being released from that slab is being collected just like by trees, by these microbes that live in the subsurface, and they're using it to build their biomass. And we're trying to understand their metabolic processes or their metabolisms that they use for these processes. Most of my lab work is so my work consists of collecting samples, and then we come in and we process those samples for about 2 weeks, and then for the next year I'm sent behind a computer crunching numbers. It's a lot of bioinformatics, doing computer coding. I wasn't originally interested in science. I thought I hated science. And as a high school student, didn't want to go to college at all. And so what I did was I did the next best thing and joined the military. And it took years and years in the military to realize that I actually did want to go to school. And I didn't know what I wanted to study at the time. So I started studying as much as I could in the military so I could understand as much about the evolutionary process as I could. Lo and behold, there's a whole lot of evidence for evolution, can't disprove it. Found out I got really, really obsessed with it and said, okay, I'm done with the military. I want to know as much about this as possible. So I got out of the Air Force after 8.5 years and went in as an undergrad at 28 years old and studied ecology and evolutionary biology here at UT. And then while I was there, while I was an undergrad, I got an opportunity to do a internship at Oak Ridge. So that's how I got into microbiology. It was in ecology and evolutionary biology, and then when it came to looking for what I wanted to do as a grad student, I was always interested in origin of life and the idea of, is there any life elsewhere in the universe other than here on Earth? I don't think there is a real definition. A scientist is someone who studies the natural world and trying to understand processes of the natural world that we don't currently understand, or expand our knowledge on these processes. You don't have to be a Stephen Hawking, you don't have to be an Albert Einstein to be a scientist. You just have to have a thirst to learn as much as you can about whatever your particular area of interest is. Oh yeah, I'm absolutely part of that group now. Do I still deal with imposter syndrome? Yeah, on a daily basis. That's something I'll always deal with. But I mean, I think a lot of people deal with that. I got lucky in the lab I ended up in because we do at least one trip a year. And we go to, like I said, Chile, Argentina. I've been to Chile twice, been to Argentina once, been to Iceland. I spent 3 months in Antarctica. Antarctica was amazing because most people that go to Antarctica, scientists, either spend time at McMurdo Station, which is this little, it's an old military base, and people stay down there and they do research in labs. I was lucky enough that I got to go out into the Antarctica dry valleys for 3.5 weeks, 4 weeks. And what that meant was we got to fly by helicopter from McMurdo Station out to the dry valleys. And there are no buildings out there, but you have to sleep in Antarctica in a tent, a pop tent. And you have a cot inside your tent, and then you have this big sleeping bag that zips up all the way up to your face. And some awesome memories I have of that was the fact that the wind would blow so hard through Antarctica that the tent, while you're sitting there asleep in the middle of the night, it's the middle of the night, but it looks like it's the middle of the evening. It looks like it's 12 o'clock in the afternoon because the sun never goes down. and you just wake up and it's tent smacking you in the face. And then you could walk around in places like Lake Frixel and Lake Bonnie, which are some of the sites that we went to, and there are these mummified seals laying all around in some of these places, and they look like they died last year, but these things have been dead for thousands of years, but they're perfectly preserved. Never be afraid to be wrong, and never be afraid to admit you're wrong. And if you are always willing to accept the fact that ideas and beliefs and positions that you currently hold are possibly wrong, then you'll never be you'll be less disappointed when it turns out that that those things weren't true. So never be afraid to question. There's a much bigger world out there. There are don't be stuck in your ways, and you're not as dumb as you think you are.